So, welcome back to my channel. I know it's been a bit because I've been sick. I've been trying to do streams to kind of like ease it in between like different shot videos and recorded videos. So, it's just a little bit easier when you're, feeling like, complete garbage. But today we're going to be talking about the Switch 2 trailer. It just released, and I want to show you what I saw and what's kind of interesting to it and give you my perspective. See you at the intro. So remember, everything we're seeing here today should be taken as a grain of salt. This is Nintendo trying to build up hype for their new product, which makes sense. But then again, no one has touched it yet and probably won't be able to touch it until 4/2/2025 because that's when Nintendo Direct is. Right now, the estimate is it's going to be about $400 for the new Switch 2, which it's comparable to when the original Switch launched, so that's not surprising. I do like the fact that it has a much bigger screen. It is like it is way bigger than the OLED. It is awesome. I do like the fact that the new Joy-Cons are bigger. But what I don't like is that the old Joy-Cons, which are how expensive they are, do not work with the new ones. But it does have the click in instead of sliding on, and I never liked that slide on mechanic. I heard a bunch of people got them stuck from putting on the wrong one on the wrong side, and it was a mess. I do like the fact that they put rings around their joysticks itself to help prevent dust from getting in there, and it would keep it from getting some stick drift. It looks like a decent product that we're going to be getting. Who knows? Hopefully in 4/2 we get a little bit more knowledge. I do like the fact that their kickstand, it goes the whole entire length of the bottom instead of literally the first one was just like a little piece that always broke and barely held up the first Switch. They corrected it a bit with the Switch with the OLED, which it has a much better kickstand and it's way easier to use. I do like the fact that they put Type-C on both the top and the bottom. At least that's what it looked like in the video itself. Hopefully they keep that in. It looks like a lot of like design cues from the Legion Go. If anyone's ever played one of those, they're awesome. They're basically a Windows PC, but like Switch style. And they put a Type-C on both sides because it makes it easier to, if you want to use a dock or use a hub, a Type-C hub of any kind, or depending on how you're laying, if it's easier to charge from the bottom or the top, it just gives you the flexibility of doing what you need to do. And if they're stealing that design cue, that's good on them. It looks like it's going to be thicker. We're not 100% sure. We don't have the dimensions yet, but it looks like it's going to be a good deal thicker, which makes sense because if they're putting more powerful parts in there, they need a way to cool them, and that takes up space. It's not just the screen that's going to be taking up that space, and depending on what type of screen they're going to be using, it means that they're going to need more power, which then leads to bigger components, which means bigger heat sinks, which means a thicker device, which is not that big of a deal. The Switch 1 is kind of underpowered from day one, and it was thinner. I'd rather get a thicker device and have a device that is capable of playing games with like a Sony or an Xbox versus all you could, like, who's buying Call of Duty for the Switch? Like, you're getting the Switch to play Pokemon and Mario and like Nintendo based games. So I would like a system that could keep up with them and potentially play some of those third-party games instead of just Nintendo games, because their coders are really good to the point where if it's underpowered, it's still going to run the game pretty well, except for Sword and Shield when it first launched. So like I've had my hands on Legion Go. It's pretty awesome, and it's thicker, so it's not that big of a deal if it's thicker, as long as it's ergonomically friendly. The Joy-Cons themselves are bigger, which does suit my fat hands, and I'm kind of excited for the fact that it is going to be bigger, and B, that it's not the slide on. The click in looks like it should be good as long as You don't get dust in the port. The port is on the Joy-Con itself, which is good. Potentially, as long as you don't break off that connector that's coming out, but those are going to be tests that are going to be done in the future. But if the port's on the Joy-Con itself, it's easier to get rid of a Joy-Con than it is to get rid of the Switch itself. So, you know, you kind of have to weigh your options there. And it looks like it has sort of like a matte finish is what they're trying to show. I like that. It keeps away fingerprints. Yeah, it looks like it's going to be a solid device that we won't see for probably 6 months, I'm guessing. It looks like they're going to be talking about it in 4.2. So who knows? We're going to release it from there. We're at least 3 months away from the Nintendo Expo. So they'll be talking about more on that date. And like, we are getting crumbs, which is nice because everyone thought one of these was going to launch. It sucks to whoever bought an OLED for Christmas, and it's kind of on brand for them to release this information after Christmas because, you know, if you already bought the OLED, yeah, it kind of sucks. But it should be a great system. I'm excited to see it. I do like the fact that it does have backwards compatibility. If you have Switch 1 games, they work on the Switch 2. Nintendo's always really good at that, and I'm happy to see that they're continuing on with that legacy. And there's very little things to hate on it right now. We just have to see it and get into some people's hands, and most likely it won't be me, but, you know, congratulations to those tech channels that get a chance to look at it. Hopefully one day I will be in that position, but it's clearly not going to be this one. So I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.